Test, test, test. Testing, testing.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Welcome back to the VPL 1 match of the round for Football Victoria. Two sides separated by just one place in the table, but two sides eager to stake their claim as the premier Lions club in this very competition. The Bulleen Lions, after a great start to the campaign, have dropped off in recent weeks. They haven't won a game in their last 5. As for the Eastern Lions, after a poor start to their season, conversely, they've dramatically risen up the table, winning 3 out of their last 5, and very keen to continue that form into this clash this afternoon. I'm Neil Simons for Football Victoria. It's a pleasure to take you through the action, and we'll take you through the starting lineups of these two sides as well. Starting off with the away side, and the Bulleen Lions, number 2, Sean Cooper, number 3, Marko Bagaric, number 4, Jay Cardio, number 5, Ivan Gilgic, number 7, James Wilson, number 6, Dimitri Praskos, number 9, Dennis Menalao, number 10, Luke Lofts, number 11, Carlton Westerdale, number 20, James Sikeris, number 77, Mark Carita. For the Eastern Lions, number 1, Keegan Coulter, number 2, Jack Butts, number 3, Kentaro Oi, number 5, Milo Bassoni, number 6, Gregory Zacharias, number 8, Omani Leacock, number 9, DeAndre Vollenhoven, number 10, Davut Tahir, number 11, Nathan Stamatelos, number 26, George Stavridis, and number 99, Jack Pope. Our referee in the middle is Alexander Nikolowski, and we will have kickoff here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Of course, the Eastern Lions currently undergoing pitch renovations. I believe the turf has been laid down at Gardeners Creek, so we might have some action very, very soon. Hopefully this season, but all eyes point to next season when VPL football will return to Gardeners Creek, or NPL football, should the Eastern Lions have a fantastic end to their campaign. Kickoff underway at the, ironically enough, redeveloped Jack Edwards in terms of their projects that are currently ongoing. Last week, construction commenced. This is, of course, means that we will be on the near side in the grandstand, because, as you can see, a lot of construction going on that far side. That's where the new grandstand will be, of 500 or so patrons, a new social club as well. It's a great project by the city of Monash that's been instituted, and very exciting nonetheless. Here is Bassoni. The Lions looking to create through Stamatelos. He's looking to press high. It's cleared down towards his left-hand side, and the throw-in will be taken by Jack Butts. Of course, interesting acquisition for Chris Gritchen's men towards the midway point of last season, playing his football at the likes of the St Kilda Celts in the state leagues, State League 1, and also with Casey Comets in state leagues as well. So, had an apprenticeship at Shrewsbury Town in England, so definitely has the quality and has had quite a good campaign as well. Here's Menalao. Gilgic, a great ball towards that left flank. Here's Westerdale, cutting on his right. Westerdale shaping up to shoot. That's deflected. Here's Vollenhoven, looking to break the space and finding Omani Leacock through the middle. That's Tahir entering the area, rolling across the face of goal. There is Jack Pope. His shot deflected, rolled back towards Bassoni. Beautiful turn. Calls for a handball, and Nikolowski says, no way. And quite the opening few minutes. Very entertaining and thoroughly entertaining. Of course, both these sides love to score goals, and they've both got players that have scored quite a few of them, and quite high goal tallies, respectively. You point to James Wilson, Luke Lofts, and Mark Carita, who've scored more than 5 goals apiece in the league this season. Not so much for the Eastern Lions, you'd say, but Omani Leacock has been a shining light, the Barbados international. Both sides as cup runs over. So all to play for in the league now. All focus for Chris Gritchen and his Eastern Lions side, who a very young 11, you'd have to say. Not too many players over the age of 30, bar you'd say probably Nathan Sim. Towards his right-hand side here is Wilson. Searching ball forward, looking for the option of Sean Cooper. Right into the trusty arms of Keegan Coulter. Here's Zacharias. Now fully fledged and embedded within this Eastern Lions defensive back four. After several stints with the likes of Northcote City. Had a brief spell at Melbourne City's under-20s a few years ago. And a great showing against South Melbourne as well in the Cup, where he also played football there for under-20s. Under-21, should I say, rather. Here's Vollenhoven looking down the line. Plenty of other matches kicking off at around the same time, 3 p.m. Plenty of fixtures in the MPL 1 Victoria. And we'll keep a keen eye across all those games. Luke Lofts dispossessed. Coulter towards the option. And George Zafridis. He cheaply gives away possession. And Bulleen looked to counter. Zacharias deals with it well. Here's Bissoni. Back towards Stavridis. Of course, one of the few players on both of these sides that have actually played for the opposing team. Did have a spell at the Bulleen Lions more than 5 years ago. Vollenhoven. Good first touch, and Wilson will look to keep a very keen eye on Keegan Coulter. May have spotted him off his line, but the former South Melbourne and Oakley Cannons goalkeeper was there. Has familial connections to this club as well, have to be said. As Pope rolls it towards Oi. Here's Butts. Kintara Oi. His 40th birthday was about 3 weeks ago, and considering that he's still going strong at a very high level, I have to say it's quite a great signing for the Eastern Lions, bringing him across last season from Japan, J1 more specifically, with Jubilo Iwata. Spent time at Albirex Niigata as well. A great ball sprayed towards that right-hand side, but definitely the rain that pummeled on Oakley about the 15-20 minutes before kickoff has probably had an effect upon the surface. The spectators driving to the venue would have just spotted the grey skies, purely grey. Here's Butts. Heavy touch from Leacock. Back with the Lions, and Wilson goes to deck. Here's James Zekris. A beautiful ball towards that left flank, and might unleash Carlton Westerdale. He's approaching the byline and shapes across into the middle. Dealt with by Zacharias, and the Lions will look to reconvene. George Stavridis. A backwards header from Stamatelos. It's back towards Theocaris, is forced to clear it quickly. And Leacock back to goal. Heads it forth towards Bissoni. Spots out Vollenhoven. He's got options on his left, but it's a drive in central, and Carita will pick off the pass. Space opening up to his right. Here is Sean Cooper. Incisively finds Carita once more. And Cooper wins out down that right channel. cutting on to his left briefly, shifting in towards the back post, and there was Carlton Westerdale with the free header. And headers it into one of the portables. And it looks like someone has just appeared out of the portable and has given back the ball to Keegan Coulter. The beauties of Victorian football. Wasn't that entertaining? Here's Keegan Coulter. Pressured by Dennis Menelau. Of course, the brother of Alex Menelau, the current Melbourne Victory midfielder, who he's come up against this season as well in the VPL 1. Bassoni, space on the right flank. Stamatelos. Couple of step overs, looking to weave past. Towards the back post he goes. In fact, the ball zipped out of play initially, and it'll be a goal kick. George James Gilchrist. Of course, the Bulleen Lions goalkeeper was formerly at the Lions in 2017 at under-13s, and then moved across the likes of Caroline Springs, George Cross, and Whittlesea, different parts of town. Was actually a part of the Victory Academy for a while as well, before returning to one of his former junior clubs in the Bulleen Lions. As foul is awarded just on halfway. Cheaply given away. Of course, we've got two other games kicking off in this division at the same time. Melbourne City at home against Werribee City. And, of course, North Geelong facing off against Langwarrin. Melbourne City already with a 2-0 lead and just inside 12 minutes. So, decent start for them. Oi with a switch. Looks like a flat back three in possession for the Lions of Eastern variation. Tahir spots Bassoni down that right touchline. Can he keep it in? He can't, due to the enormous defensive challenge. And looks like they might opt for a long throw maybe through George Stavridis. Depends if that is the intention. I mean, they were sort of the victims of such long throw-ins from Max Mikela at Lakeside Stadium. Headed back in by Butts. Mollenhoven. Just head tennis at the moment as Menelau looks to get a touch to it. Here is Wilson. And that clearance has found its way nearly into the grandstands, but just hits the netting here on this near side. Butts. Mollenhoven with the backwards header. Menelau. Oh, Zachariah stepping in strongly. Nikolowski is going to tend to play it on the ground. That being, looks to be Dennis Menelau. Looks all okay, however. Good news for, I guess, all involved in that specific phase of play, but doesn't look if a free kick will be awarded. Dennis Menelau was quite upset. I can't really blame him in that instance. But the drop ball will be played by Luke Lofts all the way towards Keegan Coulter. Here's Kantara Oi. Zacharias plays it back towards Stavridis. It looks like the Eastern Lions are really looking to create gaps and pierce openings whenever they can. Such a young squad that has and is embedded with so much quality. Both sides, more specifically. Here's Busoni. Looping ball forward. Misses everyone following the pass from Ivan Gilgic. In towards Kentaro Oi. Over 300 appearances for Jubilo Iwata, as Pope has been bodied down by Dennis Mendelau. 9 going toe-to-toe. Two young players as well. Got plenty to offer. And Zacharias looking down towards that right flank. Speak of Chris Gritchen's coaching quality and sort of how he's been able to bring the Lions into quite an advantageous position despite the, says a lack of resources. Same goes for the Bulleen Lions, as we'll touch on them in a few moments. As Stamatelos is one-on-one with Cardio. Decides to look deeper towards Milo Busoni. Pass is picked off initially by Luke Lofts. Zacharias in towards Pope. Giuliano Peperino has a tall task at the helm of the Bulleen Lions. After obviously a great start to the campaign, and it's now a case of just arresting the decline in which we've seen in recent weeks. Of course, that's not the easiest task in the world, as we do see Luke Lofts receiving some treatment. Well, of course, last time these two sides met, it was in February of this year. A 2-1 win for the Bulleen Lions with goals from Corrida and Manalau. Marnie Leacock got one back for the Eastern Lions. In fact, in 8 meetings, the Lions have only won a singular game, that being a 4-0 win last season. At home, Oi with a beautiful ball towards that left flank, and Vollenhoven get a touch to it, he can. Very close in tow with a byline. It's lofted forwards, but sent back by Marko Bakaric. Now we'll see the corner arrive from Davut Tahir. Davut Tahir worked under Chris Gritchen, arriving from the Albion Rovers, and I guess he really has a knack for bringing players in from the state leagues and shown them that they can do well. As Tahir looks to whip him forward towards a centre. High ball still on the edge of the area. Great touch from Leacock, who still holds possession. But it's sent back by the Lions in towards Milo Busoni. In towards that right-hand side. Space for Stamatelos. Lost one in towards the back post. Wasn't quite covered, and it's out for a corner. Delivered towards the centre, flicked away. Pope will retrieve. Stavridis. And Butts will let one fly. Will still retain possession, however. Looking towards that right flank. And that'll be a goal kick for the Bulleen Lions. Well, after play sort of being so wide and spread in the opening 5 minutes or so, things have really sort of remained cool, calm and collected, especially the Eastern Lions are within possession. And Bulleen, they like to do their work on the counter. And of course, I would, for their sake, like to afford Mark Carrita with as much space as they possibly can. Here's Pope. Butts. Cardio with a fantastic strong header towards the centre. Stavridis. Girgic. And Easton give away the free kick. And now we'll see the Bulleen Lions look to fashion one in from quite a deep region. Quite a good attendance here. Jack Edwards Reserve, you'd say north of 400. To be sure, the grandstand's starting to fill up. East Lions have had to play at home ground such as Lock City's ground in recent weeks. Not traditionally an NPL facility, but actually did host the All Nations Cup and continues to host it. Play is ushered on by Nikolowski, and again the Lions of Eastern variation give away possession. Cardio. Touched in with Menelau. And Lofts might find some space to shoot. Right into the back of Katara Oi. Menelau looking to retrieve once more. Finds Westerdale. And Stavridis bombs it long. Pope with the backwards header. Oi contends with it well and might find the back of Samatelos. But Bulleen just starting to gain a little bit of confidence going forward. As towards Pope. Tahir. Looking to briefly bring it forward, and he's dispossessed. And there's awarded the free kick. Nikolowski not settling for less. It's a very stop-start, to and froing. More or less what we've seen so far. And looks like the Eastern Lions might have an opportunity from all of 30 yards out to potentially find an opener. They don't exactly have a set-piece taker in mind, you'd say here. Vollenhoven and Stamatello standing over this one. Games coming thick and fast. It's already the midway point of the season here in the VPL 1. With extra potential promotion spots up for play, it's all the more exciting. Here's Stamatelos from range! Hits the upright! Wow. Wouldn't that have been something? Still alive for the Eastern Lions, but that was some delivery, zipping into the top left corner. And the former Melbourne Victory man with a near pinpoint delivery. A junior of this football club returning following a 3-year stint at the Victory. Nearly providing a moment of magic. And causes the first real big chance of the game. Interesting to note that Nathan Stamatelos, his father, and Stamatelos actually is the president at the Eastern Lions. And I guess the task for signing him wouldn't have been that hard to convince, but he's obviously demonstrated that he has the utmost quality and has shown that in The VPL won this season. His first real year of senior football, has to be said. After plying his trade in the 21s, his pocket has been picked. It's towards Leacock, but a great acrobatic clearance from Ivan Gilgic. Sent it into the construction site. Looks like people in high vis just keep emerging out of nowhere to retrieve balls. Doesn't look like there's any works going on at the moment, but it's quite entertaining nonetheless. As was previously mentioned, here is Stavridis. Looks long. Into the mixer. Cardia with a headed clearance. Stavridis was briefly upended. Now towards Kantara Oi. Of course, has the Kantara Oi Soccer School in Melbourne. Very successful at that. Making such a positive impact on Australian football. Gilgic, strong header. Formerly of Melbourne Knights, Ivan Gilgic spent 2022 at Pascoe Vale. And Vollenhoven has space to exploit. Slightly heavy touch, but an enormous challenge from Sean Cooper. Well, you can see why he's been capped by the New Zealand under-23s with such thunderous challenges like that. The former Wellington Phoenix youth product and Auckland City youth product. And the corner now for the Eastern Lions through Davut here. Delivered towards the centre and misses everyone. Might have bopped up nicely for Kantara Oi, but it was well out of play. Chances not exactly forthcoming for either side. But certainly an ominous sign of things to come potentially. And I think there's been a free kick called, in fact, within the penalty box. As Sunshine is welcomed by the Jack Edwards reserve surface. Certainly provides a better picture, I'm sure, for the viewers watching at home. Sean Cooper laterally does find Palaskos. The Pope is going to stride forward and look for Davut here. He's forced slightly wide. Look to go to ground potentially pretty easily, but still holds possession and is picked off brilliantly by Wilson. That's a strong challenge between, it looks like, James Wilson and Milo Bassoni, in a massive scrap ensuing. In fact, the goalkeeper, James Siakris, has come all the way. That was pretty ugly. In fact, very ugly. And it looks like Alexander Nikolowski has some decision-making to do. Pretty brutal. And they've called for the physios, it looks like. And Bassoni looks to be okay. But as you can see, the assistant referee on that far side and that near side are definitely going to have a discussion here. Gordon Wang and Francis Ose Tim are combined with their head referee and Alexander Nikolowski. It looked to be quite a brutal challenge upon introspection. And thankfully, the the animosity has been subdued following that challenge. Was there a card handed out? I'm not exactly sure. Doesn't look like any cards were handed out. It doesn't look like any. And in fact, going off is Wilson. He's been sent off. Must have been hard to see, but nonetheless, we do have a red card. Very hard to see on that far side, but yes, it looks like his afternoon is over. And for a challenge like that, you really can't argue with Alexander Nikolowski. Taking his time to get off the park, however. Well, he's really taking his sweet time to get off the park. It's been about a minute since he has been sent off, but James Wilson's night is over. Can provide an added boost going forward, but they'll have to fight with 10, the Bulleen Lions. A horrendous challenge at that. Vollenhoven towards a backstick. Samatelos! An enormous save of James Siekris and the two ex-Victory youngsters combining on that occasion. Goalkeeper to attacker. Teammates at one point. They would have done that in the training ground plenty of times. It's getting into some fantastic positions. Nathan Samatelos. Towards the centre it goes. Oi. Might fall kindly for Tahira to fashion in yet another delivery. Towards the centre. And Leacock will get a touch to it. Look to fire one high and long and over the bar. But it looks like it took a deflection. And we'll see yet another corner. And that's what the Eastern Lions are going to do. They're going to apply the pressure and ensure that the Bulleen Lions do not have any attacking reprieve going forward. Tall Timber in the mix for the Lions. It's rolled short towards Vollenhoven. And he still manages to hold possession. Rolled short towards Jack Pope! And a great save from James Siekris once more, who's more or less Bulleen's man of the match at the moment. What an incredible showing from the young goalkeeper. And Davut Tahir has been told to go to that far side to deliver one all the way. And he'll have to now fashion one in from this far side. In fact, it might be Vollenhoven, in fact. He's going to try his luck. Vollenhoven looking low and towards the near post. Coulter. Vollenhoven spawning out to here down that right channel. Slightly overhit, and it'll be a goal kick. We'll go around the grounds in the VPL one. Of course, about 35 minutes gone in this contest. Near that, thereabouts. Look in the top flight. Green Gully have taken the lead against Manningham United, and Moreland City lead 1-0 against the Port Melbourne Sharks. Now assessing the second tier. It's been quite the opening 30 minutes for Melbourne City. We have a 3-0 lead over Werribee City. Stavridis looks down the line. And the Bulleen Lions are going to take their time with a throw-in. I think it's a matter of just absorbing as much pressure as they possibly can and finding openings where they can. Of course, without the likes of James Wilson, it's going to be very hard for them to generate opportunities going forward. It's now with Jack Pope. Kintara Oi. Just on halfway, shifting it across back towards Zacharias. But Vollenhoven slightly free. And a great challenge. That was from Magaric, of course, the former St. Albans Saints junior. Wasn't precisely successful in that instance, but nonetheless, the Bulleen Lions still have possession. Here is Sean Cooper down the line towards Manuel. And now Zacharias. Stavridis slightly under pressure and upended by Kurita. And here's Jack Pope, now Kintara Oi. Vollenhoven on this left touchline, just on halfway. In towards Pope. Zacharias. Pope in space. Tahir. Forced to weave. Pope, incisive towards Leacock. And with the outside of the foot pass, looking to find his fellow import in Vollenhoven. The diagonal towards Vollenhoven. Isolated with Cooper. 1-2 with Leacock, which Sean Cooper does an excellent job defensively. And ensures a Bulleen Lions goal kick. Interesting to note about the Eastern Lions, of course, they do have more imports than they are allotted within this division, meaning that on the bench today is George Akers, following several injuries to senior players. It means that he can now make his, well, it would be his 5th appearance if he gets on the park. Bulleen get it forward. Here's Stavridis. Slightly overhit for Stamatelos. But they will win back possession, the Eastern Lions. Thrown in laterally towards Jack Pope. Butts is asking for it. Forward towards Leacock, breaking the space intelligently. Weaving away onto his right. Briefly went to ground. And Lofts is going to provide support as well and wins back possession. Well, Luke Lofts, he had a fantastic start to his campaign, already on 6 goals for the season, formerly of Northcote City. Joining across last season. Spent time at Hull City in their youth system. And also with Scarborough in the lower tiers of England, more specifically in National League North, where they currently play now. Pope. Zacharias. Here's Pope once more. Going to drive to here, back to goal. Oi. Zacharias almost masquerading as a number 6 as a central defensive midfielder. Pope. The Eastern Lions looking to just batter down the hatches. Roll towards Zacharias. Here is Kentaro Oi. High line for the Eastern Lions, and the Bulleen Lions have remained quite regimented and solid. The back 5 almost. Just having to force turnovers. Zacharias. Overhit ball for Stamatelos. But following the red card, the Bulleen Lions have remained quite composed within possession, and has to be said. They've been quite good going forward. And defensively, they've just been tremendous. Despite the few chances that the Eastern Lions have had. There's plenty to look up for. That's to be very certain. And I'm sure that Paparino and his coaching staff have got a lot to change in terms of perhaps how they line up in the second half, and they do have quality on the bench to match. But all those questions might be answered in about 5 minutes or so, the remaining time that we have in this first half. Here's Kentaro Oi. Wellenhoven sitting quite deep. DeAndre Vollenhoven, I mean, what a career he's had. South African ancestry, and then obviously has spent most of his time in New Zealand. The likes of Auckland City, a very high level at that. Here's Westerdale looking to break the space. Carlton Westerdale. Shot blocked. The Queenslander having a very good campaign. Not exactly repeating his goal-scoring feats from last campaign, but he's provided plenty through the channels. Bassoni. Stavridis. Bassoni with plenty of space to exploit. Towards Leacock. Shifting away. Now Butts. Wellenhoven. Butts once more. Towards the centre circle for Zacharias. Left and right for the Eastern Lions. Tahir, that's a great little touch. And bearing down on goal was Nathan Stamatelos. It was a bit of a deft touch towards his ankle. And in fact, it looks like he might have collided with James Sierkis, who looks to be in some way here, and the physio has been called. It gives us an opportunity to look yet again around the grounds. No changes at Melbourne City or North Geelong. Currently 0-0 with Langwarrin. As things currently stand, a win would put the Eastern Lions, well, potentially, if all things fall their way, as high as 6th on the table. Which, considering that they were very near potentially getting relegated a few weeks ago, it's quite the recovery. But of course, there's a lot to ponder. Nikolowski is going to make his way towards the touchline, and a yellow card towards Favorino, the Bulleen Lions head coach. He's not too happy. Favorino goes into the book. And just like, dare I say, frustration from the Bulleen's Lions perspective. They had quite a few opportunities in that first 10 minutes or so. But since then, Chris Gritchen's side have managed to, I guess, figure out the structure and shape enforced. And, well, the red card doesn't really help things. That's to be certain. It sort of zaps out the life and liveliness from the Eastern, from this game, should we say. But with the game remaining at 0-0, anything could change. Oi. Towards Leacock. Driving central. Bending past one. It's Amani Leacock. Spraying it out wide. Stamatellis with a heavy, heavy touch. And is forced further wide towards the right touchline. Here's Pope. Incisive. Menelau with a flick. And is awarded the free kick just inside his defensive half. Melbourne City have a fourth against Werribee City. And the Bulleen Lions with the potential opportunity here to get themselves in an advantageous position on the stroke of half-time. Towards that right-hand side, and Cooper providing plenty of support. Zacharias, Pope. Butts inside his defensive half. Towards the centre circle. Here is Bassoni. Slightly out wide. And Stavridis goes to ground. Play continuing. The Bulleen Lions might have it way back here for Karita, but a poorly given away pass. Vollenhoven, just on halfway. Leacock providing a central option. He goes to ground, and so did Paraskos, and now Jack Pope. In towards Greg Zacharias. Leacock, Zacharias. Opening up the angles. These are lines of Stavridis. Here is Jack Pope. Looking out wide for Vollenhoven, approaching the edge of the area. Vollenhoven looking incisive. The Pope is still onside and plays it back towards Kantara Oi on halfway. Incisive ball into the mixer, but that might be one of the final acts we have in this first half. Ball is bomb long. Butts. Pope. Vollenhoven. Saw space opening up briefly, and Leacock is held. Strong challenge again from Westerdale. Crunching tackle from Paraskos. Nikolowski looks at his watch. Sean Cooper now for the Bulleen Lions. Westerdale back to goal. Leacock. The Lions of Eastern Variety in transition, and Leacock is mumbled down. Might be a potential booking in the offing here. trudging down with Dini Paraskos. Looks like a yellow card to Dini Paraskos, maybe. Should we say someone else, but it's very unclear, that's to be certain. King Coulter found the necessary means to come up all the way to the center circle for that call. But in fact, I think it's because he wants to send one in to the box. It's quite a bit of an unusual state of intent from Chris Greachin as the ball is sent in towards the center. Pope, backwards header. And that'll be the halftime whistle. Well, after quite a tame first half, the only real moment of note being two fantastic saves from James Siekris alongside the ball hitting the upright following a free kick from Nathan Samatello, should I say. And a red card, of course, to James Wilson. We'll be back for the second half in 15 minutes. Welcome back to the second half here at Jack Edwards Reserve. It looks like we'll have a change. George Stavridis is making his way off the park. Oncoming for only his 5th time this season, George Akers. New Zealand under-20s international, formerly of Waterside Kauri. And ironically enough, actually has featured in an under-23s match with Sean Cooper, the fullback from Bulleen. So these two men, George Akers and also Sean Cooper, have played against and with each other for New Zealand. So it's quite intriguing. And with also issue within New Zealand as well. As we see now, Mark Carita racing down that left channel, upended slightly by Jack Butts, but no foul will be awarded, and there'll be a goal kick. And Kicking Coulter has said, you know what, the sun is too much, I'm going to put a hat on. And I think he's put on one of those Macron-branded Eastern Lions hats, which actually look quite nice. Might have to purchase one myself. As it falls out of play now. Yeah, King Coulter, we've seen him sport the hat a few times in recent times. I'm not sure this season so much. I mean, but in fact, yeah, I've been told that last week he also did sport a hat in their 2-1 win over Langwarrin. Whereas for Bulleen, it was a 2-2 draw with the Bentley Greens. Slipping, sliding now. Bulleen looking to stride forward and have space for Wortherdale, and he's brought to ground. And they take it quickly. Carita afforded time on that left channel. Will look to drive central. It's forced to retrieve his own ball. And Tahir breaks the space. Carita jostling in toe, in two to toe. And is awarded the throw-in. All to play for in the next 45. And looks like these two sides are going to battle tooth and nail, especially with the more attacking approach enforced by Chris Greachin. Good anticipation by Butts. Stamatelos back towards Butts. Delivery into the center. Carita. Melbourne City have scored their 5th against Werribee City. Well, that's certainly quite the intriguing match to keep your eye on. Of course, with many of the A-League players likely to take breaks in the next few weeks due to the contracting period ending. Stamatelos drifting onto his right and beats past Carita and is awarded the foul. Must say, a very nice crowd here on the Saturday afternoon here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Chris Greachin is going to want to make another change, it looks like. But a change of the ball, not a player. As one of the spectators has gone down to retrieve it. That's a good little feel to this tight spaced ground. Of course, everyone has to be forced onto this near side or towards the hill due to the ongoing works at Jack Edwards Reserve. And Tahir will look to fashion one on a very, very acute angle. Stavut Tahir driven low. Might fall alive here for Stamatelos, who goes to ground, and Nikolowski has said no penalty, but, well, the animosity continues in this second half. And there might be calls for a potential card here. Not entirely sure what's happened. It's a massive scrap. And Nikolowski again has to make another decision, with the assistant referee on this near side having a pinpoint view at it. Of course, corner was the call, but something might have happened off the ball. And discussions are being had. What will the decision be? It could be yet another game-changing moment. Well, I'm just a little confused as to what might have happened there. We might have to look at the replay to assess what exactly caused that scuffle, but tensions certainly not being subdued in this second half. The Marshals even made his way onto the park, trying to assess what exactly has happened here. Nikolowski has been signaled over. So has the Bulleen goalkeeper and James Siekris. And a bit of a kiss and a hug. Oh, that's beautiful. Sportsmanship from DeAndre Vollenhoven and James Siekris. Yellow cards. 4 yellow cards, it looks like. I think it's James Siekris, DeAndre Vollenhoven, Gregory Zacharias, and I think it was maybe Ivan Gilgic. So, isn't that good sportsmanship from Vollenhoven? And now the delivery to arrive on this near side. Towards the near post. A bit of acrobatics from Vollenhoven. Well, it's like one of the most entertaining games we've seen in terms of, I guess, off the park action, in terms of scuffles and the likes, lunging tackles, folks coming all the way from portables, and it looks like forklifts and all the likes on the far side to try and retrieve balls. Really epitomizes VPL 1 football. The Chaos League has been dubbed by many. Here is Kentaro Oi towards Gregory Zacharias. Kentaro Oi towards Pope. Here's Jack Butts. Kentaro Oi is being ushered forward. The incisive ball towards Pisoni. Here's Jack Butts. Zacharias. Kentaro Oi. Lofts the ball towards that left flank. Going to be kept in play by the Bulleen Lions. It can not. So it will be a corner. Here is Tahir to potentially deliver it for the Eastern Lions. Looks towards a near post. Leacock upended in a defensive position, and Mark Carita is going to utilize fantastic technical acumen to break the space and find Menelau free. Dennis Menelau onside. He just has to beat Keegan Coulter. Still alive. Menelau. No space in the middle for the Bulleen Lions to exploit. One of the very rare chances that they've had. And here to here, conversely, striding forward for the Eastern Lions. The crowd is brought into action and brought to life here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Towards Pope. Here's Kentaro Oi. Zacharias, now Butts. Stamatelos. Couple of rollovers. Short towards Jack Pope. Zacharias. Pope. Held slightly by Carlton Westerdale and receives the overlapping ball. And following the slided challenge, picks up the ball and will continue things. Rolled short. Here is Pope. Zacharias with the shot. And there was a brief spell of possession for the Bulleen Lions, but it looks like they might just look to counter on set-piece opportunities, and that might be the mode of intention for them going forward. Here is Vollenhoven, Bassoni, and Luca Lofts doing his defensive duties and executing it to a T, but the pass was intercepted. Menelau, heavy first touch. Stamatelos, Pope. Akers with a brief touch. Cardio now with the clearance. Of course, considering for a man that only really broke into the first team last season, has been named captain numerous times for the Bulleen Lions. Of course, a junior for most of his days as a footballer. Actually played his football prior to under-15s in Gippsland. And is highly regarded over there in those parts of the town. Leacock. Potentially a high boot, but waved away. Oi. Westerdale. One kindly by Bassoni, and will find Stamatelos. Fashes it in towards the back post. Akers rising highest. Still alive for Bulleen, however. Stepping in was Kentara Oi. A liminal space for Bulleen to exploit going forward, and Dennis Menelau has a very tough and tall task of trying to beat past the likes of Kentara Oi. Vollenhoven isolated with Cooper, breaking the space into the middle. And Luca Lofts. Menelau shifting away from his marker. Can't bypass any Eastern players, and here's Amani Leacock. Lash clear into the construction site. Out towards the right flank. Stamatelos twisting, turning. The last touch came off him. And Bulleen's defensive acumen has to be commended. They've arguably defended better now than they had in that first half prior to the red card, which is really, really saying something. Butts. Akers. Cooper. It's sent high, high and long. And it's really been a battle between the two, Siekris and Reed for the number one. But Siekris is the one that's getting the nod this afternoon. Vollenhoven. Leacock. Looks like the Bulleen Lions are going to make a few changes as we see a couple of players warming up. Here's Milo Bassoni. Kentara Oi. Misplaced pass, a rare mistake. As Carlton Westerdale has got space. And looking to the right-hand flank, but Menelau was offside, and Karita just can't believe he couldn't receive it on this near side. And Pope has got Akers forward, and Akers of space. Stamatelos hits one of the portables and out of play. And double change, it looks like, from the Bulleen Lions. He's going to be enforced. Phineas Arbinson, one of the most outstanding goal-scoring records at a youth level in this state. 13 goals in 9 games in under 23s. Formerly of Ringwood City. He's going to come on, but change not going to be enforced just yet, it looks like. And now we will see the change. And first coming on will be Hussein Al-Sharifi, formerly of Box Hill United. Joining midway point of last season. Luke Lofts and Dennis Menelau making way. And a couple of squad appearances with Heidelberg United in 2022. But does provide that goal-scoring output when required. Chris Greachin with the extra man advantage. Might be quite dissatisfied with the performance in the second half especially. Because, well, namely, I think they just have to ensure that they can find some defensive resilience despite the wave of pressure from Bulleen following the set-piece opportunities the Eastern Lions do generate. It's a real chess match, especially for Chris Greachin, because the flat back five in possession, out of possession, should I say, for Bulleen. It's hard to pierce gaps and openings. Here's Zacharias towards Butts. Slightly forward for Akers. He's going to find a space on his left foot, letting one fly. And a strong deflection in towards Keegan Coulter. Now Zacharias. Sony dropping deep. Pope. Vollenhoven. Ball's fashioned into the mixer. Now it's Sony. Twirling away. Former Newcastle Jets junior. Playing in their academy. Out towards that right-hand touchline. Stamatelos. Will break the space. Driving still. And excellent work from Jay Cardio. As the free kick is awarded. Pushing it back, and Harbinson will win it back for the Bulleen Lions. It's cleared long. Tahir just providing that very annoying presence, you'd say, for Ivan Gilgic at the heart of defence. And the Leacock. It's a sumptuous ball down that left flank, but had to be wider for Vollenhoven. Amani Leacock, of course, formerly of Defence Force and Notre Dame in the Caribbean region. A real diamond in the rough with 25 caps for his country. Tahir. Ball was out of play. And Chris Greachin has not looked to his bench since the halftime substitution. Has got players aplenty course, likes of Nathan Sim, Angus Lambie, no Tobias Paleo, who of course has been sort of scratched off the team sheet. Of course, that's actually why Akers can come on. Of course, Paleo, obviously of German descent. Samatelos by Sony. And that's Cooper who picks off the pass. Chipped in ball forward. It looks like Harbinson might win out on that right touch line. Phineas Harbinson. He's got plenty to contend with. A very enormous opportunity for him to make himself a potential hero. A bit of trickery from Kurita. Breaking to space. Approaching the edge of the area. Goes to ground. Isn't awarded the free kick. Still going. The Japanese import is picked off by Gregory Zacharias and putting on a bit of a show. Mark Kurita. Not so sure what's happened here. Kurita and Bagaric have been signalled by Alex Nikolowski. I'm not sure exactly what this would be for. Maybe for dissent, perhaps? Certainly not afraid to have a chat with the players in the park. Alex Nikolowski. And Cardia is going to take the throw in. Of course, as mentioned, Mark Kurita, 50 games in J3, 7 goals, and actually featured in a 3-0 loss in the Emperor's Cup to Yokohama F. Marinos in 2022, coached by none other than Kevin Muscat. Where, of course, in that same season, Yokohama did actually win the J1. Vollenhoven. Looking to beat pass initially into here. Driving more central. Again, cheaply given away by the Eastern Lions, and they've really struggled to generate much in the second half. Has to be a pressing concern, you'd imagine. Because all they really do need is one goal, and then they can just shut up shop with the extra man advantage. But Bulleen, spirited performance. Absolutely so, but Stamatelos asking plenty of his teammates. Zacharias, Katara Oi shifting left now. Again, given away by the Eastern Lions on that far side. Bulleen nearly finding a breakthrough through the channels. And a great header towards Davuta here. Now Pope. Bassoni. Samatelos upended. Cardia is going to stride forward. Kurita to his left. Mark Kurita towards the byline, shifted in towards the back post. And a strong header from Harbinson. It could have gone anywhere. But in fact, the direction where it went, it was out of play. Well, this game, 20 minutes left in regulation time, is really, it's anyone's guess as to who might take the 3 points. It's all really, you'd have to say, down to who can find that one moment of magic. And Cardio now. Towards Karita. Leacock striding forward. Opens up the angle on his right foot. Still going is Amani Leacock. And Cardio has been such an enormous presence within midfield. Akers can't exactly bring the ball to feet. Now towards Keegan Coulter. Here's Leacock tracking deep. Weaving away towards Butts. And Karita picks his pocket. Numbers arriving for the Bulleen Lions. Shifted in towards the back post. Might it fall kindly? It might for Harbinson. Can he break the space? And the Bulleen Lions! The youngster, Phineas Harbinson, coming up enormous at Jack Edwards Reserve. An exquisite turn and a finish befitting of what has been an absolutely incredible comeback from a mental position for the Bulleen Lions. They've been down without a player for all of 50 minutes. And when moments count, the teenager, Phineas Harbinson, with his second goal of the campaign, and it might be his biggest and Bulleen's biggest within the context of this fixture. What immense mental fortitude. The travelling fans in sheer disbelief. And after Bulleen have attempted to pepper the goal of the Eastern Lions on counter-attacking opportunities, forcing all their weight towards it. For the next 15-20 minutes, an attacking onslaught from the Eastern Lions does beckon. And Jake Cardio is going to take his time. He might even do his shoelaces. And well, after 70 minutes or so within this contest, we have the opener from the substitute, Phineas Harbinson. Kentaro Oi. Milo Bissoni. Look at how high the line is from the Eastern Lions. And it's Namatelos. Butts. Rolled square towards Gregory Zacharias. And due to this high line, it really gives more opportunities for the Bulleen Lions to exploit. As Damatelos whips it in towards a back post. There is Kentaro Oi. Akers keeps it alive, and Westerdale will clear it away for Bulleen. Zacharias looking to line one up from range! Hits the post! But Damatelos was offside! Oh my word. Zacharias, you could feel the post rattling from Oi. Down the line he goes. Bissoni. Beautifully won by the Bulleen Lions. Vollenhoven. Short towards Akers. Looked for the incisive pass towards Davut Tahir. But it is claimed. And North Geelong have taken a lead against Langwarrin, 1-0. Karita. Cardio. Eastern Lions, such a staunch press, and it's caught by one of the crowd members in attendance. And I think he probably is a Bulleen Lions fan, considering that he threw the ball all the way towards the centre, trying to waste time. And look, it looks like Marcus Demange is going to make his way onto the park. And wouldn't this be quite the story for him? We'll touch on that in a few moments as to why this change is pivotal for Bulleen. As Vollenhoven is going to fashion one into the mixer once more. Gilgic's clearance will result in a corner, and it looks like we'll see a double change, in fact, from the Eastern Lions. Nick Kutsubos, former Jets youth player, and also Will O'Connell. As the ball is delivered towards the near post, a backwards header. Bissoni butts towards the back post. Kintaro, oi! That was the moment they had to take. They had to capitalise. And so Marcus Demange is going to make his way onto the park. He played his football last season at Preston, and the year before that, for 2 seasons, he was with the Eastern Lions in the MPL Victoria top flight. Snamatelos is going to make way. Kutsubos is going to make his way onto the park, and Vollenhoven is going to come off. Oncoming Will O'Connell. And so here we go. Changes had been made. Entering the final act of this contest. A roaring applause for Margarita. Is there perhaps one more twist in the tale? As the Bulleens look to be on the precipice of breaking their winless run. Towards Kintaro Oi. Here is Zacharias. Butts. A 1-2 touch with Kutsubos. Zacharias. Marcus Demange, also, I have to mention, is a Mauritius international. Was actually recalled earlier this year. Had only a couple caps for them in 2016, but now is back with the side. Akers looks to let one fly from range. Oi keeps it in play, looking down the line, but he's been picked off. And now Zacharias, and Phineas Harbinson has broken the press and is bearing down on goal. Looks to roll it square. It is Marcus Demange, and the Boling Lions, with just about everything going against them, have secured a second and are about to break their long winless run in the most outrageous of circumstances. A testament to resilience. They've had to fight with 10 men for almost an hour. And the former Eastern Lion across town, causing his former side some pain. What a way to get your first goal of the VPL 1 campaign. And again, Phineas Harbinson. What an incredible substitution. What an incredible player. And the Eastern Lions They had this game in their back pocket. This was not meant to happen. But never question the unwavering desire and attitude from the likes of Mark Carita, Phineas Harbinson, etc. They've always fought very hard. And they've demonstrated that in droves this afternoon. And here comes the frustration. Here comes the realization, the faint realization that this might not go their way. And well, I guess with Bulleen, it's just, we'll take our time. That's the real question. How do they manage to compose themselves despite being 2 goals up and with that lack of defensive acumen? But in fact, they still have space for Harbinson to exploit. Cutting onto his right, Harbinson! Just wide of the goal. A tactical masterstroke. He has been a revelation of sorts this afternoon. But the task continues for the Eastern Lions. Next week, they do have yet another intriguing clash of their own against Victory's reserves on Sunday. Kutsubos looking to break space. Picked off, however. Now we'll see the corner taken quickly towards Butts. That's too far for Kutsubos to reach. And Bulleen are just trying to enforce a press of their own as much as they possibly can. They're unrelenting in their pursuit for a third, and would be one of the best performances, team performances that you would have seen this season if they were able to get a third. In fact, this feat alone has to be commended in every possible way. Truly, it's been a incredible showing. Butts. Here is Kutsubos. Towards the mixer it goes, and here is Zacharias. Zacharias once more slides it towards Akers. Couldn't get his foot under it, and it will be a goal kick. Looks like we might see another change. Jean-Louis Barashayo is going to make his way onto the park in a few moments. He's the only one really warming up for Bulleen, and you suspect he might be the next change enforced. Well, I guess it's gone really from bad to worse for the Eastern Lions. What's worse than a one goal buffer is a 2-goal buffer, and of course when you have the lack of defensive options on the park, and when the intent is only directed towards goal, that you've got to have lapses in concentration, and that's what's happened for them this afternoon. No fault of their own, really. The game could have reached a very different complexion if they had scored in that first half, and you could have argued that they should have, were it not for some outstanding goalkeeping from Siekris. Now shifted on to the left foot of O'Connell. Zacharias. Little bit flicked by Tahir, and here is Dimanche. Beating past one, and Tahir is doing his defensive work He forces one down the line. Westerdale in tow. And Girgic. Zacharias. Exceptional diagonal ball. But Scott Cooper is going to retrieve his own header and drive forward. And force it all the way towards the corner flag. Wasting time is their only intent, and well, for Keegan Coulter, didn't go out of play. He's going to roll it right towards Zacharias. Here's Pope. The heavy touch works out fortunately for him. Looks to find Akers in behind. He was muscled down, but no foul. Well, because of the lack of a substitution board, we believe there's 4 minutes of added time. That is our understanding at the very least. So 4 minutes of time remaining, should I say. Might be a slight miscommunication. Or maybe they're just going to communicate that 4 minutes of added time should be added. As we enter the 88th minute here. Kutsubos back towards Butts. Zacharias. Towards Kintara Oi. Searching ball forward. Can Pope keep it in? He cannot. And there probably still is time for the Eastern Lions to get one back. The question is, can they secure two? This is the Chaos League. We've definitely had chaos of some description. But can these expectations form into reality? Demanch. Poor first touch in towards Zacharias. So quite a good game at the heart of defence, despite 2 goals conceded. Here's Akers. On his left foot, delivered towards Tahir. Zekris is off his line. And it can't be delivered by Leacock. And onside, in fact, is Al Sharifi. This will be the icing on the cake, but it's a great defensive challenge from Gregory Zacharias. 2 pivotal chances for both sides in the last 30 seconds or so. Here is Kutsubos racing down this right channel, cutting onto his left. Rolling it square. It does fall kindly for Bassoni. It's towards O'Connell. And Girgic gets it clear to a wondrous applause from the Bulleen faithful. Oi. Towards the back post, but Kutsubos can't find it. And Jake Cardio is also in a bit of pain here. Might be receiving some attention. Could be cramp maybe. I don't know. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be cramp, and Bagalic is giving him a bit of helping hands. Looks to be all good. Now the clearance. Subos's touch results in a Bulleen throw. Taking his time, putting the ball within his shirt maybe to get rid of the water per se, and he's been given a yellow card for time wasting. The Bulleen fans are incensed by it though. Harbinson off the swivel. O'Connell out for a throw-in. Five minutes of added time. Well, if the Lions were to strike, it had to be now. As soon as they can find an opening, have to capitalise. But Bulleen, all players behind the ball just about, except for Phineas Harbinson. Here is Kentaro Oi. Towards to here, it's Leacock, it's Akers. Excellent defensive work from the Bulleen Lions. Towards that left flank, Bissoni on the underlap. It's a great sliding effort from Al Sharifi, who will win the ball once more. Here's Butts. Masquerading as a midfielder now. Was it right back this afternoon? Might fall kindly for Bissoni. Can they... How? Jack Butts can't deliver. Neither could Akers. And it will be a Bulleen goal kick. I think they've done just enough. And James Siakris is receiving some attention as well. He's just looking to have cramp, it looks like. Well, what's next for Bulleen on the agenda? Following their amazing win, they do face off against North Geelong at home on Saturday night, which is a bit of a change from the usual Monday fixtures. Around the grounds of Melbourne City have put 7 past Werribee, and Werribee put past 1 themselves. So Siakris now forward. Zacharias with the head up. Tahir is back to goal. Here towards Leacock. Here's Demanch. And again, the Lions defensively can't win out. Shifted across towards Kentaro Oi. And again, his pocket has been picked. Al Sharifi. He's got numbers forward, Westerdale. And Harbinson can't find it. Here's Kutsubos. Deft touch towards the back post, and that was excellent work. Once more, Siakris, the Bulleen goalkeeper. Towards Bissoni. Now is Zacharias. Towards the back post. Kutsubos was offside. And it looks like we'll see one final change from Bulleen. And it looks to be Angelo Amato, the Bulleen junior, broke into the first team in 2023. And coming off will be Dennis Mandalau. In fact, I say Timmy Praskos. And Demand stepping in. Now Oi. Akers. Well, he's been hit in the back. Demanch is onside. Might find space for Al Sharifi. It gives away the foul. Here's Katsubos. Nikolowski looking to his watch. Bissoni. It's back with Oi. And O'Connell. Harbinson beats past one, but good work from Zacharias. And the free kick for the Lions. Is there one last chance for Bulleen, and a trademark run from Ivan Gjurgic? Of course, we know that he scored that outrageous goal, solo run last season against this very club. Here's Akers. Sent long towards Katsubos. But still play goes on. Definitely reached more than 5 minutes in stoppage time, and Pope can keep it in just about. The header for Akers, and the free kick has been given. Bulleen on the precipice of a famous victory. And North Geelong have also secured an enormous win against Langwarrin. Siakris now to take the goal kick. The Boling Lions, with one of the most improbable wins in the VPL 1 this season. An incredible show of resilience, mental fortitude, and also tactical acumen. Goals from Phineas Harbinson and Marcus Demans, both substitutes, have secured a 2-0 win, should I say, against the Eastern Lions, following an early red card from James Wilson. What a showing, and what a way to break a winless streak which had plagued the club and put them all the way into mid-table. I've been Neil Simons for Football Victoria. It's been a pleasure to have your company this afternoon. We'll be back for some more VPL 1 football in a few weeks, and we'll see you very, very soon.